Mandible. Mandible is made of two halves. One half and one half. The two of them unite by the middle like that. In a line called symphysis menti. When we discuss the pelvic bones, we'll see the same line, but it has a different name. Okay. The mandible itself is made of two halves. If we take one half, is made of this piece. We name it as ramus of the mandible. This piece. The ramus of the mandible. And the rest of it, which is this piece, this is the body of the mandible. When we start talking about the ramus of the mandible, it shows this area. This is the head of the mandible, or you can name it condyloid process. Okay? If you forgot, just name it the head of the mandible. Next to the head, we have the neck. Next to that, I have this notch, mandibular notch, followed by a triangular shaped piece of bone called coronoid process. So that is the coronoid process. And then the mandible, the ramus of the mandible will be the body of the mandible. I do need for you guys to know just the opening called mental foramen. We'll see what comes out from this when we go into more details. The mandible should be studied from an inner surface too. How can I? This is the inner surface of the mandible. Inner view. You have what's called lingula. This piece of bone, a projecting piece of bone. I did it black like this. This is called lingula. It has an opening, mandibular foramen, and that opening makes a canal inside. What runs inside this canal? We have a nerve called inferior alveolar nerve. When you go for your dentist and it's going to do a root canal for you, this is the nerve that he gives you a shot to make complete numbness of the lower jaw. So the nerve enters as inferior alveolar nerve, runs inside the canal, and then comes from outside as the mental nerve from the mental foramen. This edge, we named it before as inferior alveolar margin for the sockets of the teeth that will be right over there. Okay? That's it for the mandible.
Okay, hold on.